Yet again, this is your friendly neighborhood Titan here. I'm bringing you Black Desert Online Beta Episode 5. I hope you enjoy it. So, you come to this lady after you speak with Orwin, I can't remember her name, a second time. That guard you saw in the last episode sends you to her, and then she sends you off this way. I should be heading to fight the third boss. Somehow Giesh, the second boss, I lost track of him. I don't know if I fought him previously before here, or it was during that time gap where I messed with Red Nose. This boss here, he actually, in my opinion, could really take a hit. Every time I was shooting at him, going at him, he tanked a lot of damage. Unlike most of the other bosses up until now, he actually, you know, he got a good couple hits on me, so range class and everything. Even after, like, I hit him with Meteor Shower, he took it. They just keep pounding on him until he takes a knee probably today. He did a lot of damage to me. On level 27 last episode we did, well I did, that we did before I was, so I'd like to believe that, yeah. Now when it comes to Giath and the quest for him was a very big grind. Whereas with this guy, even though you have to kill some of the cultists that live in this Crom castle, this guy was, in my opinion, worth going through the trouble of making certain that he would be recorded. Don't get me wrong, Red Nose was pretty neat, and so was Giath. It's just that the grind to get to them was a bit of a pain. This is also, in fact, the only place that I can think of off the top of my head that I actually died. There may have been another place, but through the whole playthrough, I think I only died twice, maybe once. This was one of them. I went AFK for a second, came back to my controller, realized I was dead. I was really aiming to play this without dying ever. The backlash on dying is actually pretty meager. It's when you die, it doesn't really do a lot, do you? I mean, it may degrade your equipment or something, but from what I could experience, it did very little to nothing. You just respawn back at the last node you're near, or the last node manager you spoke to, and she was 2 feet away, so. And stuff like this, you better get super used to it, because, I mean, the cool thing about this game is it does have the auto run, so you can just put yourself on auto run and watch YouTube or whatever you have to do. And by the time you finish, you'll be where you auto ran to. One thing that I never noticed until just recently is that Grace Lurin is not at her home. She's right there. So basically, she's just saying here that Jordan has taken
Hey you, I was wondering who it was.
great steps to begin his war against Calpheon, which I would have supported him on.
Are you an adventurer? Very nice to meet you.
But he's starting to make deals with some shady people. Kind of like how Lamborghini, how he got started. He made some shady deals with the mafia and did what laundered some money. He did some crazy stuff to try and get himself up into power. Well, Jordan is apparently starting to be questioned about this. It's probably started early before, but it's becoming more. It's coming more to light as time goes on that he's been accepting some sort of bribe to get to power where he is. I really do love this auto run feature. It saves you so much time. Keep in mind, if you wait on your horse though, you can't activate a faster run.
Extraction mill taken. I'll acknowledge you since Jordan, the Grand Chamberlain, sent you. Nope.
I don't know for certain what he said, but I'm pretty confident he was saying that he's seen some stuff go through that Dawson certified that he didn't particularly agree with.
Are you looking for something in particular?
Of course, the node management in this is a bit of a pain sometimes. Because you're trying to make a trade and they're just like, oh no, we don't do business with you. Why? Because your contribution points have been placed here. I understand why. It's to motivate you to connect everything, but it would have been nice to know that before I started getting involved.
What brings you all the way to the extraction mill? The stories about hallucinations and illusions are tedious.
Now Dawson's ratting
Not
out
interested. So go
Jordan
get another person for those hollow words.
because Jordan was willing to throw Dawson under the bus, and Dawson's finally like, oh, correct, I'll give you whatever you want to hear. So originally you thought you were going to be helping Jordan get his crap together and fight back against Calpheon originally. But now, because he's been dealing in some dirty stuff, he's starting to be brought to question. These quests are oddly named too, so I wonder what's going to take place. This is me looking at my factories and stuff like that. I was saying before that you should always keep in mind where you put your mount. Make sure that it's in a safe place, because that is just something that really sucks to have to do. You have to run very far, and then you have to pay a fee to get your horse back. Along with all that other stuff. So be very mindful of that. Like the reason it disappeared before is basically I had entered PvP, so when you do that it sends you off to another area and it should stable your horse somewhere, but it ended up for some reason taking my horse and dropping it heaven knows where. I don't know if it left it where it was and let it die, or what happened, but I ended up paying a recovery fee of like, I think it was 30,000. And then after that was all said and done, I got my horse back, but I had to run all the way back from a whole nother village to Calpheon, which was quite a bit of a run. For all you that actually know the distance from computer from Calpheon to the plantation, it is quite it's a decent distance.
The extraction mill. It's not a problem that can be solved by just blocking that grim forest.
So you go and you talk to him about destroying some plants, and then he says go talk to Gurnlern. I feel like during this stage of the story, I guess you were setting Jardis or Jardian up, but I always felt like he was your ally to a certain point. Because he stated that he was defending Heidel. So I don't know why you're talking to that guy. And then Grace Loren, and then back to the king himself. For the most part, I read all the vital story points that they mentioned in the text. I looked through all of them to make sure there wasn't nothing too crazy that I was missing. For the most part, all I knew that I was doing for those people is a bunch of little miscellaneous deeds, like they hated the odor of something, or there was some bothersome imps or trolls or what have you bothering them, and go to kill them. Or there was cultists at a certain area that I needed to wipe out, and then after you wipe them out, you go and you face the boss. Like, stuff like that. Back to Grace Loren, who magically exists in multiple places.
I'm Grace, in charge of the League of Merchants in Heidel. It's pleasant to meet you. Valley Lily. It soothed the exhausted
So then
heart.
you complete her mission, and I guarantee you always found it a lot quicker just to jump off the balcony.
The choices I have made were all for the sake of Heidel. History shall recognize the sacrifices I have made. Sir Jordian, Dawson from the Glish extraction mill has requested you to visit.
You know he's only trying to cover up his disgrace.
What do you mean? I don't know what you are thinking of.
Bring me the sword. This is a Shadow Knight sword found at the extraction mill. This sword was in Dawson's lodging, and his maid found it. He must have made a contract with the Shadow Knights. We must find out what he's planning. That much is obvious. To the extraction mill. Prepare my horse.
Alright, so that's all I have for you today. Don't forget the links are down in the description below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye!